Hi there, I'm Katya and I am literally just a girl. So that means on some days I want to put on extremely heavy black eyeliner, a pair of fishnet tights, and just about every single piece of silver chain jewelry I can find in my jewelry box. But then the following day I want to emulate the exact aesthetic of the 12 Dancing Princesses movie from the Barbie cinematic universe. And that is just the duality of women. Am I right, ladies? So today I thought it would be fun to create some outfits using inspiration from hyperfeminine aesthetics in the likes of Coquette and Royalcore. And fortunately for me, one of my favorite clothing brands, Lacemade, was kind enough to send over a few of their pieces. Definitely make sure to check out their shop because they have some amazing princess-like pieces. So without further ado, let's style the first one. Coquette is a style of dress that tries to emulate what a flirtatious woman would wear. So it does play a lot into hyperfemininity. We see lots of pink, lots of lace, mini skirts and sweetheart necklines, and overall a very girly vibe. This is the Hawthorn Berry dress, and my mind immediately went to Coquette when I saw this because of the bows. Ribbons like this are a pretty frequent accent in the Coquette aesthetic. I love the mixture of the gingham and floral pattern, especially since they're both in red and white. So I tried to mimic that with the bottom half of my outfit using these red heart print socks and white platform sandals. But I also feel like switching out these sandals with some loafers would be super Coquette as well. I kept it preppy with a red beret, but I could also see this dress being styled a little bit more modestly, maybe with a white turtleneck and some lace tights. And you can even add a red, white, or black cardigan on top. If you're interested in learning more about this specific aesthetic, I do have a full style guide on my channel. Royalcore is a style of dressing that pulls, you guessed it, from royalty. And there isn't one specific time period that royalcore pulls from. It's really an aesthetic that encompasses the history of royal fashion and takes inspiration from pop culture, specifically from the costume design in modern historical dramas such as Bridgerton, The Gilded Age, Anna Karenina, and many more. This is the summer poem dress. There's just something about the shape of the sleeves that really reminds me of the Shakespearean era. This dress also has some added detail around the hips that makes it drape so beautifully, and the lightweight material really enhances the movement. Since the dress itself is so regal, I went with some very simple accessories, although I did try to incorporate more of the colors of the dress using the crystals in my jewelry. And for shoes, I went with some simple pink satin ballet flats. I don't have one at the moment, but I feel like a crown, tiara, or some other kind of extravagant headdress would be the perfect finishing touch. Cottagecore is an aesthetic inspired by rural life. There's a heavy emphasis on natural materials, floral prints, milkmaid silhouettes, puff sleeves, and in general prairie-inspired styles. I chose the Tuscany rose corset dress. The bodice has this beautiful folded over detail with some rose ribbon embroidery. It already has this white lace paneling built into the bodice, but I thought I would dress it up a little more with a white puff sleeve blouse. For the shoes, I went with some brown Mary Jane flats. I also added this long pink bow in the back of my hair. I feel like this is a staple in most of the feminine aesthetics. Since there was so much detail on the neckline, I opted to skip the necklace and go with some heart pearl earrings instead. Academia styles in general draw their inspiration from the classical style of dressing at universities. There is also a heavy basis in classic vintage designs of the 1930s and 40s, as well as traditional school uniforms. This outfit really falls within the realm of romantic academia, which is actually a mixture of the academia and coquette styles. I layered this simple white blouse with a ruffle collar under the Flower Diary corset dress, but I really feel like it's the accessories that bring the outfit together and give it that academia feel, especially this vintage leather messenger bag and these platform loafers, and of course the gold-rimmed Harry Potter-esque glasses. I feel like some of the most worn items in my closet tend to be on the preppier side, but I also love those super girly pieces that have lots of layers and ruffles, lace, florals, bows, the works, and this look is a great compromise for that. Although dollette and coquette technically fall under the same category, dollette is more focused on mimicking the appearance of an actual doll, so I thought this blue Cinderella dress would be perfect. I feel like the neckline, puff sleeves, and just the general midsection of the dress are very similar to one you would see on a vintage doll, along with the lace paneling and trim. This dress would be perfect for a number of Halloween costumes, just a few I can think of course Cinderella, which it's named after, Alice in Wonderland, and potentially one of the Shining twins. There's just so many possibilities. Playing into that vintage doll look, I went with those same ballet flats from the Royalcore look, but this time I added some white frilly socks, and I feel like dolls tend to wear minimal jewelry, so I just went with this simple pearl necklace, a heart ring, and some blue gem earrings. I love to take inspiration from internet fashion trends. So if you have suggestions for video topics, definitely make sure to leave them in the comments. Thanks again to Lacemade, and thank you for watching. Hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!